What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Joe Joyce versus Christian Hammer, and this is going to be a 12-rounder in the heavyweight division, and this fight is going to be Saturday, July 2nd from the OVO Arena in London, England, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on BT Sport in the UK and on ESPN Plus in the United States. And to get both fighters' resumes, Joe Joyce, fighting out of England, holds a record of 13 wins with no defeats and 12 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 7 by BoxRec in the heavyweight division. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Leroy Thomas, a knockout win over Iago Kaladzidi, a knockout win over former WBC heavyweight champion Bermane Stiverne. He also has a knockout win over former world title challenger Alexander Usanov, a unanimous decision victory over 3-belt former world title challenger Brian Jennings. He also has a knockout win over Michael Valish, a knockout win over current WBA heavyweight world champion Daniel Dubois, and he is coming off a knockout win over former world title challenger Carlos Takam just under a year ago. And to get his opponent's resume, Christian Hammer, fighting out of Germany, originally born in Romania, holds a record of 27 wins with 9 defeats and 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 68 by BoxRec in the heavyweight division. And to first of all list all 9 of his defeats, he has a stoppage loss, which did happen in his pro debut against Robert Gregor, and that was due to a shoulder injury. He also has a knockout loss to Mariusz Wach, a majority decision defeat to Taras Bidenko. He also has a knockout loss to Tyson Fury. He also does have a unanimous decision defeat to Alexander Povetkin, a unanimous decision loss to Luis Ortiz, a unanimous decision defeat to Olympic gold medalist Tony Yoka. He also has a knockout loss to Hughie Fury, and that was at the hands of another shoulder injury. So really, he only does have 2 pure knockout losses, and he also his most recent loss was by unanimous decision, a shutout against Frank Sanchez, who did beat him pretty handily. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Danny Williams, a split decision victory over Erkan Tepper, a knockout win over David Price, and he also has a knockout win over Michael Valish. And in my opinion, this fight is very, very easy to predict. It's obviously going to go in favor of Joe Joyce, but I mean, really, I was just having trouble with deciding whether this fight will be a stoppage or if Hammer will survive to go all 12 rounds. The thing is, Christian Hammer is a very durable guy. I know he's been stopped 4 out of the 9 times he's lost, but I mean, really 2 of them were because of shoulder injuries, and they were in fights that he wasn't really getting totally destroyed and wobbled around, and he was just getting outboxed and just outworked. I don't know about his pro debut, obviously, but I do know about his fight with Hughie Fury. That was his most recent quote-unquote stoppage loss, but obviously it was with the injury. But Fury was pretty handily outboxing him. The same thing happened in his most recent fight against Frank Sanchez. He was just simply outboxed. And as you heard, most of his losses have come to top 15 talent in the heavyweight division, like Povetkin, Fury, Ortiz, Yoka, Hughie Fury, Frank Sanchez. All those guys are at least top 15 in the heavyweight division, or at that time they were. Yeah, I mean, he really hasn't lost to anyone that bad aside from his earlier fights. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, he's just at that level where, I mean, he's just being thrown in there against some of these top guys. I mean, really, he doesn't even pose these top guys a threat. It's just a sort of solid, stay busy win for them. And it's not like Hammer's like a total pushover. It's not like he's just going to get stopped in a couple rounds. He stays in there, he hangs with these top guys, but he just can't really throw punches against them. That's the thing. He just gets hit. He doesn't really throw much back. And if he does, it does miss a lot. Considering at the level he just fight usually against most of his opponents that he's lost to. So, I mean, you could definitely draw similarities between him and a Derek Chisora, but I mean, at least someone like a Derek Chisora, even though Chisora has lost to a lot of the top guys he has faced, he's given them some competitive fights, like Usyk, like White, like Parker. He's given them very, very good fights. But Christian Hammer, he's fought guys like, as I mentioned before, Ortiz, Sanchez, Fury, Povetkin, etc., and they've all dominated him, and he hasn't given them any sort of competitive fight. He's just given them a solid win. So, I mean, the thing is with Hammer, he doesn't really throw much back, not really much of a volume puncher. He just has a good chin, solid, durable guy. But do I think he's going to last in this fight. At first, I was thinking Joyce was going to get a late corner stoppage victory from rounds 8 to rounds 12, but I have faith in Christian Hammer to survive. Being that Joe Joyce isn't really the fastest guy, he just has a lot of power. I feel like it will sort of make for a less, I guess you could say, dominant performance for him. I know that he's going to win every single round with ease because Hammer is not really much of a puncher, I guess you could say, because he doesn't really throw much when he faces top tier competition, like Joyce, for example, who's inside the top 10. So, yeah, I think that Christian Hammer will survive all 12 rounds, but I think every single round will be the same. I mean, there's not really, I don't really need to break this fight down round by round. I really think every round is going to be similar. I think Joe Joyce will just be the one coming forward, like a juggernaut, like his nickname, obviously. Just coming forward, throwing punches, primarily head hunting, really trying to break Hammer down and stop him late in the fight. But I think that Hammer will survive, and all three judges will score this bout wide in his favor, giving him every single round, scoring a 120 to 108. And knowing the British judges, they give 10-8 rounds without knockdowns, they give 10-10 rounds, whatever. Could be like 120 109, whatever, 119 108, like something like that. Whatever. Like, it's just going to be a pretty clear win for Joe Joyce. But as far as now, as far as I know, I'm probably thinking the judges are going to give him a 12-0 sweep, scoring at 120 to 108, all in his favor, to win by unanimous decision. So comment down below your thoughts on this fight, your thoughts on Joe Joyce, and what do you think is next, considering he was supposed to face Joseph Parker for the interim WBO heavyweight world title, which could have led to him fighting for a possible full world title against like an Alexander Usyk, or the winner of, obviously, Usyk Joshua 2. So overall, I believe that Joe Joyce will defeat Christian Hammer by unanimous decision to get his 14th victory, and I think it will be wide and dominant. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.